What impact and changes have happened in Betfair markets over the years? So decent question there, really. Yes, undoubtedly. Betfair's markets have changed over the years. They've changed since I started. I think, to be quite honest with you, it would be foolish to think that they hadn't. Because over time, regardless of whether it's betting or any other industry or whatever, everything changes. So looking at it more broadly, in fact, the betting industry has actually changed quite a lot over the last few years. And you see now it's more commonplace for all these accounts to be closed and stuff like that, because bookmakers, rather than deal with their pricing issue, they'd rather just close accounts and make it go away temporarily. But as far as a Betfair exchange goes, that's changed too, and it has to, because you think about it, when things change outside the markets, it changes user behaviour, which then changes the actual action and behaviour within the markets too. So there's one thing to mention about this, which is the standpoint that I come from, the videos as you mentioned, is regardless of what happens with the medium, if you like, betting exchanges or whatever, one thing never actually changes. And that is, the core behaviour, the user behaviour. So I believe the underpinning characteristics and behaviour is the most important thing to profit in and making the most of price movements on the exchange. And that comes down to how people behave at the end of the day. So to take it away from betting, to make it a little bit easier to explain, for example, if you run a parallel and you look at, say, advertising. Over the last sort of 20 years ago, there wasn't, the internet wasn't mainstream, there wasn't all the things that we've got now. So it's kind of like asking, TV advertising, is it not useful anymore? Well, obviously it is, but its value's dropped because just the medium of which it's expressed has changed. It doesn't mean that advertising is useless, or that it's changed, or that things don't apply, because they do. Because you see now it's just the evolution of advertising. You've got TV, and then you've got the internet, and then you've got people coming onto social media, and it's kind of like that's the way it's gone. What hasn't changed is the way that brands and companies actually advertise themselves. They still do exactly the same things as they was doing on TV, except they do it now on social media or the internet. The content, if you like, the core concepts and stuff that I'm talking about, and it's exactly the same when it comes to trading. People, users, the core underpinning things that actually drive the market do not change, because people's behaviour just doesn't change. Historically, it hasn't throughout the years. So if you to take an example from racing, for example, it could be on Betfair or Betdaq or Matchbook or Smarkets. It really doesn't matter what medium it is, or who's involved. If a horse is down at the start and the jockey sat on its back and the horse rears up and it throws the jockey off, maybe takes a section of the rail out, that's going to affect the price. It doesn't matter what medium it is, it doesn't matter what's going on, quite frankly. That has happened. The core underpinning thing in the situation, that particular horse's price is going to drift because the horse has behaved badly, and actually it affects how the horse is likely to perform over the race. Depending on what race it is, it will affect how it behaves even more so. So if I wind all the way back to your question there, Ollie, yes, the markets have changed. They've changed subtly, and they always will fluctuate. But if you focus on the core concepts that are underpinning the actual market, then you can't really go wrong.